One of the best stand-up comedians going right now is Jack Whitehall. You can see his stand-up specials on Netflix. There's also the TV show that he did with his dad, Michael, called Travels with My Father, and also Fatherhood with My Father. And the two of them, in the first show, Travels with My Father, you toured some unique places together, and you got up to various hijinks, whether Michael wanted to or not. Jack, hello, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for getting up nice and early for us this morning, considering you did a show last night. How's the shows going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we've done 2 shows so far, and we've managed to get Michael all the way to the other side of the world and up on stage, which I thought would never happen. But we had a show in Sydney last night, which was really great. We stopped over in Singapore on the way over, so yeah, no, it's exciting to have kicked it off.
Well, that's the thing. Like how much stage work has your dad done with you before?
I mean, not a huge amount. It is kind of how we started working together, way back when at the Edinburgh Festival. That was the first time we'd ever performed as a sort of double act, and we did a sort of chat show at the festival there, and that was the first thing we ever did together, and we had no idea back then that it was going to lead to doing all of these shows for the BBC and then Netflix, and now it's all come full circle and we're back on stage together again.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I would imagine that your stand-up show is like this, normally like a meticulous level of planning that would go into it. How possible is that when it comes to you and your dad?
Yeah, pretty impossible. Like when I do my stand-up, feel like I have quite a lot of control over it. A lot of time goes into working on the routine and building up the set, and I feel like I'm very kind of in control when I do my stand-up shows. But with Michael, it's a little bit more freewheeling, shall we say?
Yes.
I've attempted to give him a script, but he just can't remember anything. So it's a bit of a kind of high wire act when I'm doing the show with him.
Yes.
And we definitely have a few Joe Biden moments when I tee him up to say something and he's just looking at me vacantly on stage with thousands of people in the crowd. But I don't know, it kind of adds to it. I think people can smell the fact that it's pretty authentic.
I was going to say, yeah, and because that's the thing. Because what you must have travelled when you were a kid with your dad. But what is it like as an adult man to tour the world with your father?
Yeah, it's quite stressful. You'll sort of have to take on quite a few roles when you're traveling with an 84-year-old and your mum and dad. So yeah, there's quite a lot of man management that has to go on, and I'm not just a tour manager. I'm also a carer, sometimes a couples therapist, sometimes a punching bag. Yeah.
Because he does tend to roast you quite a bit. Like, does that happen quite a lot?
Yeah, but I think we all, always metaphorically, certainly hug and make up at the end of the show, no matter what's been said, even though there are definitely a few low blows and a few kind of off-color remarks. But yeah, it gives a frisson of excitement to the shows.
Yes.
Yeah. Feels like you're watching an episode of Jerry Springer.
So you had Travels with My Father, and then there's Fatherhood with My Father, which is also on Netflix, where your dad gives you, I guess, advice on how to be a great dad. What are the main things that you think you've learnt from him?
Not a huge amount. I think it was quite a different approach when he was a dad, and he was quite hands-off, I would say, and remains quite hands-off. But he, I don't know. He also has a sensitive side, and he's compassionate. He's very sweet as a grandfather now as well. So I don't know. Yeah, I at the moment I can't see many traits of his that I've inherited, but I guess maybe when I'm able to look back on it with a little bit of hindsight, there might be some things that I noticed.
Yes. Now, you have toured the world doing stand-up many times, and now this is a very unique thing to do, where you tour. Now, is your mum on tour with you as well?
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't do it without her.
Yeah.
He does so much of the heavy lifting. And on stage, when he is having his slightly blank moments, she's there to sort of pick up the slack.
Hurry him along.
Yeah, so she's great, and also she's a really, she's a natural performer herself. She actually started life as an actress, and we did a lot of like theatre back in the day. So
that's cool.
Yeah, she sort of turned it into the sort of singing or dancing extravaganza, and she's very game.
Because it must be a cool bonding experience, and it must have its highs and its lows, I'm guessing, as well. But what are the differences between, I guess, touring pre-child and now post-child?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've taken Elsie with me, which I thought would be a good idea, but adding into the mix jet lag toddler is quite brutal. And also, like, you'd think, traveling with your parents is kind of helpful with that, and it should be, but because they're sort of part of it as well, it means that like this morning at 7 a.m. I can't just like knock on my parents' door and just hand
the child over.
Well, I wish I could, because I don't think Michael's ever offered to do that in his life. And also, to be fair, as I say, like Michael, he's a bit like just a massive toddler, and Hillary has got her hands full looking after her. I've got my hands full looking after us. Like, we both looked at each other at the end of the long haul flight. We're like, "How was it for you?" And she's like, "Yeah, a lot." And I was like, "Yeah, a lot." But yeah.
Well, it's a big test, isn't it? Like, it's literally the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Your time and body clock and time zones and all. I mean, it's nasty for the toddler and nasty for the parents.
The toddler was definitely better behaved than Michael. Yeah. Like, you can just hand the toddler an iPad and she'll watch Peppa Pig for a couple of hours.
You can't do that with Michael, though.
No, Michael's tantrums are incessant, and he doesn't have the attention span to watch a movie on the flight, so he's just complaining for 22 hours.
Yes. Now, you've been to New Zealand before. Have the parents been to New Zealand before as well?
No, haven't. I have, but yeah, they haven't. So they're very excited. Michael's very excited to go and visit a load of wineries. I mean, he's excited to do the shows as well, but I think he's mainly excited about going and drinking wine.
Well, because, we asked this of everyone who's ever set foot in this country who's not from this country, but what do you think about this country of ours?
Yeah, I mean, I've not spent enough time in New Zealand, really, to properly enjoy it. So this time around, we've got a whole week, and hopefully I'll get the chance to get out and, get into nature and, properly have a New Zealand experience that isn't just me sat in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Michael, on the other hand, will have probably that experience. He will have
Well, I think, and it's great too. I think you've come at a great time of year, because winter over where you're from, and so it's nice to be in a nice summer temperature here. And we're not ridiculously hot like Australia is, so I think it'll be a nice entrance for you coming over here. But you guys are coming to New Zealand, playing Christchurch Town Hall on the 23rd of Jan, Spark Arena, Auckland, Saturday the 25th, and Wellington's Michael Fowler Centre on Monday the 27th. Jack, thank you very much, A, for getting up so bloody early and doing this with us, and B, for coming over here and entertaining our New Zealand audiences. It's going to be great.
Amazing. Thanks so much.